Katy Perry, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Avengers Endgame. What do they all have in common? Webkinz. They were a pop culture icon in the 2000s. New York Times calling them a must-have toy for schools and selling over 1 million units in a year. Times Magazine ranking Webkinz as a top toy of the year. And the release of Webkinz trading cards, which you can still find today. Now let me introduce you to Husky. He was my best friend growing up before I got Misty, which was my real dog. But I always wondered, how did he and Webkinz become so damn popular? And where are they now? On the off chance you don't know what Webkinz are, they were plush toys that grant access to Webkinz World, a virtual playground where you can care for your pets and play games. And for a brief moment, they were even more popular than Neopets. Okay, back to the story. Hey man, you got anything I can buy for my 2 sons back in Canada? Well, you came to a good place, because this is a toy store. How about this? What the hell? I'm not trying to traumatize my kids, okay? I want something fluffy. I want something huggable, you know? Do you have anything like that? Okay. How about this? Ew, no. What is that? I want something huggable. I want something cute. I want something my sons could have a deep emotional connection with, like a pet. Yeah, sorry, I don't have that. It's the 50s. Everything is uncanny valley. You don't have any, you say? Webkinz started in the 1950s with Samuel Gaines, a Holocaust survivor and a parent of 2 sons, Jack and Sam. And he just wanted to buy some nice toys to get his 2 sons on a work trip. And after the jump scare of the collection of dolls he saw in New York City, he promptly created Gans Bros Toys Limited. Now, ironically, he started with his own line of dolls, which, I don't know about you, are equally as terrifying and uncanny. Like, imagine this watching you while you sleep. But soon after, he would shift to making carnival plushies instead. And we thank him for that, because 55 years later, he would go on to make this beautiful husky that I know and love. Okay, I may be getting ahead of myself because the switcheroo may actually have been very risky at the time. You see, in the 50s and 60s, dolls dominated the toy market. Chatty Cathy, Betsy Wetsy, Tiny Tears were all highly popular. Annabelle from The Conjuring. That's all I see whenever I look at these. I cannot look at dolls the same after watching that film. But in the 50s, that sort of thing was the norm, so we'll give them the pass. And with Barbie's debut in 1959, you could have just kissed that teddy bear goodbye, because dolls were here to stay and they skyrocketed in the toy market. Now, Sam and his brother Jack saw this, and I imagine they had a conversation like this. Brother, guess what I just purchased? What is it, brother? It's gonna solve all of our problems. What is it, brother? One word. Smurfs. Yeah. Smurfs! That's right. In the 1970s, they got the Canadian rights to sell Smurf plushies. Before they ever made a Webkinz, they were the original sellers of Smurf plushies. Okay, pause. Why do I even have this? I found this just chilling in my room. I have no memory of where I got this from. Like maybe a carnival, like 20 plus years ago. That's just a coincidence I had to point out. Like, what are the odds I actually have a Smurf plushie? What? And this was huge for them because instead of selling no-name carnival teddy bears, they now had a franchise that they could sell to. These 2 brothers made a bet on plushies, and by golly gee, they were right, and they quickly saw success. Soon after, the plush market surged. The 70s and the 80s saw birth to a lot of media that would go on to make iconic plushies that we know today. The Paddington Bear book series, Hello Kitty, Garfield the Cat, Care Bears, Cabbage Patch Kids, all of these debuted, and within a decade, plushies weren't just no-name teddy bears. They were collectibles and a must-have for any true fan of the franchise. This idea of selling merch for the release of a book or film series was pretty unheard of at the time, or was often seen as an afterthought when it comes to the release, which seems really weird looking back. Like, if I have a film and I know it's gonna do well now,
You bet I'm gonna have merchandise in stores at the ready, such that when the film is released, people can immediately purchase. Or even better, I'll release the merch beforehand such that it builds hype up to the release. But this kind of marketing strategy wasn't really a thing or wasn't really fleshed out in the 70s and 80s. Enter Jaws. There's something you need to know about Jaws. Jaws was the very first blockbuster film, meaning they mass-produced and sold consumer merch way before the film's release. And this led to Jaws Mania, which caused a lot of excitement and hype leading up to the film. Similar to how Barbie and Oppenheimer took over all of last year's summer. One sec, I'm gonna make some lunch. Jaws took a pretty big risk doing this kind of marketing strategy, because really no other film did it before them. And you can imagine why. Like, if you're a studio exec in 1975, why would you spend hundreds of millions of dollars on pre-release merchandise when you don't even know if the film is gonna be a success? But that's the beauty of blockbuster films. They're made to be a hit. From the score, to the actors, to the concept, everything about it is made to be like a summer family event for you to go see. My point being is that these plushies started to become more commonplace and were becoming more popular as a potential merch item that these franchises could sell as they started to debut. It's the 1980s now, and Gans went on to launch a couple other product lines. First was their Heritage Collection, which saw an increase of the quality of their plushies, but they also released Googles that honestly looks an awful lot like a version of Webkinz. Now, this is an important moment in the company's history because they were transitioning from a toy company to a giftware company, and they made it official by changing their name from Gans Bros Toys Limited to just Gans, which we know today. Now, I'll bring this back up later, so just keep this in mind. Wait, do you hear that? What the hell is that sound?
Es tu mascota virtual, la auténtica y original. Debes tenerla a tu lado, dale todo tu cuidado. Si no es de Bandai, no es el auténtico.
That's right, the dot-com era just exploded, and everyone and their cousins was trying to figure out how to commercialize the internet. And on 2003, on March 31st, in the Gans company office, I imagine something like this went down. Boss, I just saw the revenue numbers. We're down. How are we gonna stop Neopets? I'm freaking out. Whoa, Jimmy, chill. Don't worry. Old Sam Gaines, I've got a plan that's going to tear the living crap out of Neopets. You see, Sam Gaines wasn't just the son of Samuel Gaines. He inherited the position as CEO from his father, and nepotism aside, he saw a gap in the market. In 1996, he saw the rise of Tamagotchis, laying the groundwork for physical to digital emotional bonding. In 2000s, he saw the cultural boom of MMOs like WoW, Evercross, MapleStory, RuneScape, and all of these others, some of them including free websites that you can just go and play. And in 2002, he saw his future competitor, Neopets, give away codes or RACs to people who purchase physical merch that they can then exchange for in-game cosmetics. I bet he probably had a thought like this. Guys, what are we going to do? We're already losing sales because of Neopets. How are we gonna stop them and all the other video game companies that are now selling merch? Hey, can I say something? Yeah, sure. You're the CEO, boss. Okay, thanks. Those guys, Neopets, and whoever else, they are video game companies. We're a toy company. If you want access to Webkinz World, you need to buy a physical plush first. And I'm not just theory crafting here. In 2021, Forbes did an interview with the OG creative director of the Webkinz website, The plush came first in 2003. The company did not feel television advertising was a wise investment and decided to invest that budget in an online site instead. And he also got posed the question, what do you think of MMORPGs like Club Penguin and Neopets? Did you view them as competitors? And Borst replied, I played a ton of Neopets before I arrived at Webkinz. I didn't just analyze it for work, I got seriously into it. But I didn't think I need to copy this. I thought I got excited about these aspects, but I didn't like these other aspects. How do I improve on this? I just find this so funny as a business student because he never explicitly says, yes, I view them as competitors, but he is just describing what competitors are. His quote here proves that Neopets did play a heavy influence on how they created the Webkinz site. Now, this exclusivity tactic of buy plushie first, get access to the website later was very risky at the time. There were a lot of other options for MMORPGs that were just completely for free that were also browser based, but it was a risk that paid off for them.
Coming up on Good Morning America, we've got the hottest gifts to make your kids squeal with joy Christmas morn.
Webkinz, okay? $10. Great. This is the next generation of maybe not. Next generation of Beanie Babies, because what happens is with each toy, you get a password, you go online. Remember Tamagotchis where you had to feed them and take care of them? Same thing here. You earn points, play games, they're quizzes. You want to keep your animal alive online. So they're all kinds of interactive. The key for this Christmas is interactive.
Webkinz was released in April 2005. But you know what else was released in 2005? Yep, YouTube. And this would start the subculture on YouTube where kids would post their own videos of them role-playing with their Webkinz.
I'm so bored. We should have a movie night. This is going to be about Webkinz going to the movies to see Night at the Museum 2. Enjoy the show. We'll walk into the movies together.
It was honestly such a sweet and innocent time of the internet. Can we just all go back to that time in history? Like, who else is with me? I want to go back. In particular, this moment in history I find really interesting because I bet a lot of YouTubers probably had their start filming Webkinz videos. Now, in my research, I couldn't find anyone, but if you know any YouTubers who had their start with Webkinz, comment below. I just think it's so freaking cute. Now, these Webkinz parodies got so big that there was actually a full fleshed out cast for a feature-length film for Webkinz with Tom Hanks as the lead role as Bill the Lemon Lime Gecko. I'm not lying. Now, truth be told, I honest to God thought this feature film was real until I figured out that it was just a fan made up cast. Needless to say, my disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined. Now, this is a good time to talk about why Webkinz got so damn popular in the first place. Well, the creative director mentions the original concept had more to do with the classic play patterns of toys like Cabbage Patch Kids rather than any specific site or existing game. Now, close your eyes and think back to webkinz.com. You log in. You can choose to adopt or you can choose to enter a code. Let's say you adopt. You get a birth certificate of your pet. You get a small description of their unique personality. You can then choose to play games with them, dress them up, decorate your house. You see all these things I'm saying? Adoption, caretaking, roleplay. These are all things that Cabbage Patch Kids was known for, and Webkinz, they just had all of that and so much more. Webkinz World acted as the virtual adoption center where you could go to if you were declined by your parents for getting a real pet. Now, I didn't check the statistics on this, but there are probably thousands, if not millions of kids around the world who experience this, getting declined a real pet. And Webkinz filled that hole in so many children's hearts. And not to tap into my Asian genes here, but it was such good value. Instead of probably spending thousands of dollars for a real life pet, how about you pay $10 for a physical plushie and access to an entire virtual world? Hello? Like, that's just all so much value. And in a world today where Nintendo is charging $90 for a game, $500 for a console, and $30 for DLC, hell yeah, can we all agree, let's go back to when games cost $10. Now it's peak Webkinz. They're everywhere. Walmart, Toys R Us, Target, anywhere you look, they're there. Actually, that's incorrect. What? Let me tell you why. Here, move over. Strangely enough, Gans deliberately chose not to sell to these big box retailers like Walmart, Toys R Us, or Target in their early days of Webkinz. And they did that because they had already established relationships with giftware stores. Remember in the 1980s, 1990s? That's why Hallmark was the go-to Webkinz place to buy. However, that didn't last because as Webkinz continued to grow in popularity, they eventually caved in around 2007, 2008, and they allowed these big box retailers like Toys R Us to sell their plushies in order to meet the demand. But this sparked a lawsuit against them with the very same specialty stores, accusing Gans of breaking US antitrust law, requiring retailers to purchase thousands of dollars worth of other products like magnets and lip gloss in order to become an official seller of the Webkinz plushie. Now, I find this funny because the OG creative director Carl Borst mentions this in the Forbes interview. Quote, Gans' success has always been with having close relationships with the thousands of small independent gift stores throughout Canada and US. Ooh, well, those very small specialty stores are now suing you for millions of dollars. Well, this particular case settled in a $2.5 million USD. So, yeah, maybe you need to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Fun fact, Easter 2009, Webkinz hit their all-time peak of 3 million users in a single day. Kids were addicted. I mean, like all MMOs, it wasn't just a plushie or a game. It consumed your whole life. Now let's put our conspiracy hats on because we're talking about the Webkinz killer. The most infamous Webkinz urban legend, the Webkinz killer, was a rumor where it was a hacker or a virus that would break into your account and murder your Webkin. I'm just like, what? I didn't really hear about this when I grew up, but reading about it now, it's like, it's so much like a child's nightmare. I mean, just look at this. Like, I'm gonna read it out to you. Like, he comes in and stabs your Webkinz and deletes them. Believers claim you had to log out before 10 p.m. to stay safe. I mean, to me, it's like chef's kiss for it's purely a child's nightmare. Like, what? Gans actually had to publicly debunk this by launching a public message stating that, hey guys, parents, don't worry, this is just your kid's imagination. There is no virus, there is no hacker, there is no Webkinz killer. It's the 2010s now, and kids are stopped playing with their plushies. They're moving on to bigger and better things. Minecraft was just released, and that's still popular today. Pokemon and mobile gaming took off, especially with smartphones and tablets becoming more widespread. They're getting addicted to newer and newer things, and Webkinz, well, it just stayed the same. Sure, Gans tried to breathe life back into the brand. Webkinz Jr., which was like a preschool edition, trying to be more educational, flopped. Mobile apps, flopped. More plushies, also flopped. And I thought, okay, maybe they're making the same plushies over and over. That's why they shut down. No, exact opposite. They kept making more and more plushies, different colors, different animals, almost the unnatural looking. I mean, just look at this. What is this even supposed to be? Is this supposed to be like a dog? Like, what? It honestly just felt like they put their designs of their kids and expected their masses en masse to like the designs the kids made, and just like what even is this, right? Like, what kind of kid would want to hug this?
Oh my god, bro. Oh hell no, man. What the?
Then a cute, fluffy fur turtle. Like, what? And Carl Borst, the OG creative director, mentions this in his interview. His favorite pet designs are from the first generation. He too knows that the new generation pets were just not it. they were just not it. And to top it all off, in December of 2020, Adobe Flash shut down. And just like that, the original Webkinz browser game we knew and loved had died. But Sam wasn't gonna let Webkinz die. He chose to rebuild the game in Unity, and by October of 2020, he launched Webkinz Classic. Now, the only downside to this is that it's not browser-based, so you have to download it in order to play. You're wrong again! Move over. Guys, Webkinz is coming back to the browser. Webkinz released this statement earlier this year, confirming that yes, Webkinz is planning to come back to the browser as early as Q4 of 2025. That's in like 2 months. This is such good news for so many people like myself who would much rather play the game in the browser like we did when we were kids. Oh yeah, just one more thing. They also decided to release a 3D version of the game called Webkinz Next, also in 2020. Which I thought was pretty cool, you know, try to capture the newer generation of kids that aren't used to the 2D models. But at the time, so many people were clowning on them for it, which I understand, you know, 3D models tend to fall into this uncanny valley style. But hey, it's been 5 years and the 3D version of the game is still going strong today. So they gotta be doing something right. That was a couple of days ago. And I've now had a chance to play both of those games, and I must say, I may have been wrong.
I thought Webkinz Classic was gonna be pretty much exactly the same like when I was a kid, but it's so not. It's very buggy, videos aren't playing. I didn't really understand how to play because the tutorial videos were just not playing.
I can't play any of these videos. What is happening? This one I can't play. This one I cannot play.
And they didn't have all the games like the original, right? The swinging of the Zingos was gone. My inputs weren't registered for some of the buttons, and it didn't feel like as a smooth process. It felt very rough.
I can't even see what the trial is about or what things I get from the trial because the video isn't playing.
Webkinz Next, on the other hand, was actually pretty smooth.
What's up? What's your favorite game at arcade? Wait, shoot. Wait, shoot. Wait, shoot, he's running away. What is Rotunda? What the hell is Rotunda? Okay, smiling. Give it a little wave, yeah.
Comparatively, right? It's still sometimes laggy here and there, but much better than Webkinz Classic. And the reviews confirm this. They removed all the good features, don't waste your time. Please make a full version of the game, missing a lot of things that were on the original game. See, like, and that was over a year ago. If I go more recently, bring back the old stuff. Courier Shop is not, yeah, the Courier Shop is missing in Webkinz Classic. Kinsville Academy is missing, Employment Office as well, which all of those things are present in Webkinz Next. Game Loving Girl 2800 says, I couldn't do anything I liked about it when I was younger. Why did I think it would be fun? 2 out of 5 stars. It's really cool that a mobile port even exists, but it really shows that it's just a port and nothing else. Playing the game in the arcade just makes me wish I was playing something else. People are not happy with the current state of Webkinz Classic. It feels like there's mixed reactions on both apps. Webkinz Classic, people who give it good reviews are people who just like that art style. But people who give it bad reviews, hey, realizes it's missing all of these features. And it's kind of glitchy, it's buggy, videos aren't playing, like this isn't the game I remember. But Webkinz Next, yeah, it has the features. You can go to the playground. There is the academy. You can learn skills and do quizzes. And there are more games in Webkinz Next. But people don't like the art style of the 3D. So it's sort of like the development team was split amongst these two apps, and they weren't sure which one to prioritize. So they end up having a mixed subpar product for both apps. one's glitchy but has the good art style, one is not glitchy and a lot smoother but has a 3D art style that some people don't like. I personally am okay with the art style of the 3D models, so I'm okay with Webkinz Next. Yeah, it's too bad Webkinz Classic doesn't have all those features, but hopefully with bringing it back onto the browser, they can dedicate more dev resources to maybe build up those features that they don't have yet. Okay, time to pick up trading cards. Let's go. Okay, psych. Turns out the nearest Walmart that's close to me does not have the trading cards in stock. They have it in stock online, so I have to purchase it online and I have to pick it up from the store, but that's gonna take me like almost 18 or 21 days to do. The package has arrived. Let's open some cards. All right, you gambling addicts, let me know if you're still here by liking this video. I actually never knew Webkinz had a trading card game, or whether they actually printed out physical cards. So I'm excited to see what I get here. Let me just remove this. Nice, pretty good. Ooh, whoa. Oh my God. How many packs are these? Does it say? 5 trading cards and 1 feature card per pack. And this is a box set, so I don't know how many packs there are. There are probably so many. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm in front of the camera so I can barely read this. Such a great place to live. Nice. Action card. Leopard. Cool. Wacky Zingos. Nice. Okay. Winter Breeze. Oh, a feature code. I'm pretty sure this is good. I'm gonna leave this over here. All right, I don't know how many I'm gonna go through. I'm probably not gonna open all of these. I'm just gonna open a few for the video. But, okay, here we go. Oh my God. Oh my, why can I not open this? Is there there's no lip. There's no like, okay. Scissors to the rescue. Hopefully I don't cut the cards. Nice. Dope. Okay, what does this say? Sweet and treats stove. Nice. A bulldog. Okay. You know, I always thought bulldogs were cute. Goobers Grand Experiment. Okay. I liked his game, so I approve of this. Dicekins. What the heck? Alyssa. Oh, that's a cute fairy. And a feature code, which will go in the code pile. All right. I'll open maybe 2 more. I'll open 2 more. But where? Why am I struggling? Scissors to the rescue. Okay, nice. Oh, I'm missing one. All right. A beagle. Ooh, those beagles are very, very cute. I like that. And it's autumn too. That's nice. Arcade. We love the arcade. What does that say? A Persephone? A Persephone? Pin style queen. Damn, go off. Okay. Supermodels with the Z. What is with Webkinz and their Zs? They love just adding Z at the end. Okay. What is this? Winter Fest. You know who this guy is. He's my best friend. Let's go. I actually have him right here. Boom. He'll sit in for the rest of the card opening. Damn. He looks so happy there. And a code, which will go in the pile here. Nice. Let's open maybe a couple more. There is so much to get through, so many more to get through.
All right. What is this? Tiger. Damn, look at this hot ride. He looks so cool. What the? Nefaria's Magical Hex. Ooh. Okay. Wait, what does it say? Look at an opponent's hand, choose a card. That opponent discards the chosen card. Okay, bro. Okay. Kind of powerful. Winter Wonderland. What the? A dog snowman. A snow dog, I guess? Okay. Ooh, what is this? Webkinz Grand Tournament. Challenge. You must discard the following traits. Ooh. This feels like a powerful card. I'm gonna put this here. Ooh, shiny. What is it? What is this? Smarty Pants. Again, Goober. We like Goober. His game was like Candy Crush. He was cool. All right. Let's open one more. One more for the sake of this video. And let me know down in the comments what I should do with the rest of these cards. There's so many more. Should I make another video about it? I don't want to take all the time up. I mean, it's a lot of packs. I don't want to take them all of the rest of this video just to open these. So I'm just gonna open one more. What does this say? Action, time to look gorgeous. Okay, slay. We like that. What is this? Rapid Rescue Fire Truck. Oh damn. Oh damn. My house is not on fire though. A beagle. Whoa, we got duplicates. He's very cute though. Autumn is coming around the corner. Arcade. We like the arcade. Nice. Oh, is that a raccoon? Yeah, I think that's a raccoon. Funny story about raccoons. When I was a child, my sister would traumatize me with raccoons. That's a later story, but just whenever I look at a raccoon, like I kind of get shivers. I'm like, oh shoot. I'll tell that story later though. Persephone. Yeah, and again, a duplicate. Very nice. She's cute. She's cute. Again, no, I'm not a furry. I want to mention this. Even though I like stuffed animals, that does not mean I'm a furry. Do not comment in the comments that I'm a furry. I'm not. I'm going to get that clarified. Okay, that is it. That is it for this card pack. Say goodbye, Husky. Goodbye. All right. I am not a furry. Stop. Actually do let me know what I should do with all these cards. Maybe I should just keep them in like a drawer somewhere, like on a shelf in the background of my videos, just as a keepsake. But I hope you enjoyed this card pack opening. Let me know by liking and subscribing. I would be very, very appreciative of that. As me, the Husky, and of Jordan, I would also appreciate that. All right. That's it. Goodbye. Oh my God, I'm like choking him. Oh, okay. Peace.